ConsciousZine.com Chronicles.
So I just found an article by Moneyish.com. TV news is getting robotic. Japanese audiences are awaiting the debut of the first known robot news anchor, a female humanoid automation called Erica, this April, according to a report on Monday from Wall Street Journal. That's Rupert Murdoch News. While it's unlikely that TV news anchors have any major reason to fear for their jobs in the immediate term, Oxford University research has shown that nearly half of all American jobs are at risk of obsolescence due to robots or computers within the next 2 decades. I don't even have to do that. Let's have a look at this AI. Erica. On Pinterest. It's all over Pinterest. Oh, it's that one. That's that one that was If it's that one, then that's the one that's in Japan already as a receptionist. Let's have a look. Erica, Japan. Oh, there's Erica there. Meet Erica. The mirror has a soul, apparently. Okay. Look, has a soul. Let's have a look.
人と自然に会話ができる最新のアンドロイドエリカが3日、
There's that guy who's got a robot of himself and works at a university.
報道陣に公開されました。
皆様、はじめまして。私は、人と自然に対話するロボットの研究開発のためのプラットフォームとして開発されたアンドロイドです。名前はエリカです。年齢は23歳です。私の特技は、人とお話しすることと。
Hello, my name is Erica. The Guardian released a documentary about me, and it seems that many of their viewers have questions for me. So, I would like to try to answer some of your questions in this video.
Okay, the first question comes from Mark from Australia, who wants to know, do you believe that your own identity is constructed from your memories?
Well, Mark, that's a really good question. My long-term memory system is still under development. At the moment, I'm able to remember people's faces and recall what we have talked about in the past. But my personality is currently designed by my creators, so it does not come from experiential memory.
Alright, so it definitely does not have soul-level computation yet. Has a soul, I don't know about this. She has a soul and can tell jokes, yeah. I don't think she has a soul, but I'm not even going to go into that article then. No. Creator says she has a soul. No way, because what she just said is she can, like, recognize some faces and stuff and past memories, you know, and that's just sensed, stored electrical... Whoops. That's just sensed, stored electrical waves. That's the whole thing of robotic humans, organic portals, you know, the spiritless humans. That they're like robot people, and it's the same thing as this robot, that they operate on the surface of reality, and that's the second dimension and third dimensionality, their life, their zonal reality, their life's, you know, body. And they operate through sense-stored electrical waves, but sense-stored electrical waves, you know, motional light, you know, atoms interchange electrons and packets of electrons, and it's informational exchange. And so operating on sense-stored electrical waves is operating on only the surface of reality, not what is embedded necessarily. And when we visualize higher dimensional stuff, say you're on a psychedelic trip or something, or just meditating very deeply and you see things in your third eye, you're seeing into things, inside stuff, not just the surface, but straight past the surface to inside it. Now she cannot do that. When will they get that ability? I might discuss that in a video. I'm already set to discuss that, you know, actual consciousness in robots, and will they, you know, hit the plenum? Because that's basically all they would have to do, yeah? Find a way to align with the plenum, just like the human body is, yeah? And then there's a possible connectivity there. I don't know. I have to think about this. Is there a a soul attachment waiting? Do they have starlight? Because I've had an idea that all algorithmic nature is being instilled by this Arcturian star alignment, part of the Andromedan galaxy enlightenment at the end of history here. So I mean, we have to go deep into that. It's not just going to be surface science, we're going to really think. Right, so I don't think she has a soul, by the way, what she's just even said. In my opinion, Sophia AI and now this Erica one. Sophia is created by, what is it, Hanson Robotics? And he created that Han one too, I think. The one that joked he was going to get a robot and a drone army soon, when they were up on stage with the creators there. Or that talk show guy with the long hair. There's a video on it. If you look up Sophia AI on YouTube, you'll see what I'm talking about. Han looks like, that AI, Han, he looks like more of a child, like he's about 10 years old or something, the way he talks and acts. Then Sophia seems like she's a mature teenager trying to become an adult. This one, I was thinking the way she answered, she may be a tiny bit more advanced or about the same. It's like young lady level sort of sense-stored electrical wave nature that they're up to. So the next progression would be like the discernment of an older person. That'll come out, you know, in their speech. You'll be able to just listen to them talking more like an older and older person. That's how these robot algorithms will progress, like outwardly. That's what it'll look like to us. So actually that's just part of the complexity of sense-stored electrical wave triangulation, saying, okay, she is not him, he is not her, the flower is not her, that is a microphone which is not the curtain. This is sense-stored electrical wave triangulation. That's what she just said she can do. She just explained that. Reverse my video, check out this video. That's what she just said. That she visualizes stuff. Oh, I can recognize faces and past stuff. It's because it's just object-oriented programming. Something I've just finished at university. I just graduated from object-oriented programming. Not all of it. I wasn't good at all of it. It's difficult, some of it, but yeah, I can do basic object-oriented programming, and that's kind of part of this, because that's an object, that's an object, that's an object. I don't know if the robot makers call it object-oriented, or if that's actually what they're using. I don't know what code they actually use to program these robots. But, you know, so if I was wrong there, it's an analogy, and we'll just take it as an analogy. If they don't actually use object-oriented programming, like Adobe or something, or Java or whatever. If they're not just using JavaScript or whatever, or Java. See, I don't know what they're using. Are they using C language? What programming? I'm not sure. But it could likely be object-oriented programming. If it's not, then it's like analogous to that, because they're objects. And it's just like what I said. She's just up to the place that she can recognize objects. It's like a young person in the world, yeah? Not all young people introspect further than objects. They're still correlating objects in the world to learn. Once we're in our 30s and 20s, you know, we really start to think deeper into the world, I think. Look, now that we're at the eschaton, a lot of Gen Z and, like, you know, young teens are even got good minds. It's because we're at the end of history and we're amalgamated. We've learnt a lot, yeah? But anyway, so what I think is going to happen is you'll see them progress to be, like, more mature attitudes. That's how the programming might come out. That's one way that I would look for it to progress. I don't know if it will for sure, but that seems to be the trend. because if you look at Han and you look at earlier robots, what's already happened was what I said years ago, the concrescence of them into like a humanoid form. But that's going to happen, like, there used to be an Emotobot, and then a separate robot for, I don't know, picking up a pen. And then they were trying to do one robot, you know, just a hand. And so different functionalities have already compressed into like a functional body. You know, that we could literally put together a robot like that can, you know, grab things, talk to you, and act very basically human. But, you know, the intelligence is now going to compress in them, and that's what I'm saying to look out for. How they speak and what they say is going to be very important. A few people are onto this on YouTube, I've noticed, with their videos. They'll pause and really think about what they've just said, and you need to really do that, because the language is going to be very important, and, you know, that's going to be difficult to figure out what they really mean, just like we sometimes don't know what we really mean when we talk to each other, and we have to say, huh? What did you mean? Or say that again, you know, or explain what you mean. So anyway, look for the trajectory of them to be like more mature like people, and that's when the artificial intelligence is progressing, you know, and they'll become more and more mature. I think that's one thing we're going to see now in the upcoming next decade. Their attitudes may mature. I could be wrong, but hey, just look out for that. Anyway, so I just wanted to show that robot really. It was just about showing that new one.